Hello, live and direct from Channel 23. I am your emergency news hologram, Dan Hollifield. Lewis Lee is on assignment tonight. And here we have something from the weird space news. In addition to the Earth's magnetic field, there's now a human made space barrier to wonder about, first observed by NASA in 2017. This mysterious zone of human made space weather is caused by specific kinds of radio waves that we've been blasting into the atmosphere for decades. But experts say the expanding band of radio actually helps protect humankind from dangerous space radiation. NASA first observed this belt of radiation in 2012. The agency sent probes to explore different parts of our solar system, which included the Van Allen radiation belts, a huge donut shaped area of radiation that surrounds Earth. This follows the Earth's equator, leaving the North and South poles relatively free. The Van Allen belts are related to and affected by the Earth's magnetosphere, induced by the nonstop bombardment of the sun's radiation. They affect benign seeming magnetic effects like the northern lights, as well as the more destructive ones like magnetic storms or cosmic radiation. People planning spaceflight through these areas affected by the Van Allen belts, for example, must develop radiation shielding in order to protect the crew as well as the equipment. And most spacecraft launch from as near the equator as possible to take advantage of this little protection. So, what is our new protective barrier? Well, it's a certain type of transmission called very low frequency or VLF radio transmissions. They've become far more common now than in the 1960s or earlier. And the team at NASA confirmed that they can influence how and where certain particles in space move about and interact. And why is this? Well, the very low frequency waves are exactly right to cancel out and repel the radiative advances of the Van Allen belts as a matter of total coincidence. In fact, NASA initially considered this to be a true coincidence, saying that the radio wave area just happened to match exactly with the edge of the Van Allen belts. But in 2017, the agency published findings revealing that one has caused the other after all. Typically, services like the militaries have dibs on very low frequencies. These were the first frequencies to be discovered and used for broadcasting, but successive discoveries have pushed private and recreational users further up the spectrum. At the very lowest point is the simplest broadcast, things like Morse code, where you're only sending a simple on-off, yes, no, 1, 2, or 0, 1 binary value that need to communicate. After that, VLF is used by military equipment, for example, and that occupies a large chunk of wavelengths. From there, AM is just slightly above that, and then FM is a little further up, and some regular bandwidths of civilian type radio are off limits because they're used for more traditional radio. Communications by people like ship captains and pilots and whatnot, things like that. Any physical communication like this must be negotiated. Remember, the government has objected to some of the ideas for 5G just
Thanks,
because
man.
it would. Bugger off, I got one paragraph. And thank you for that commercial message. Isn't it interesting that the VLF blankets the Earth with interfering with literally any other radio signal or many other kinds of radio waves that flow around us all the time. And it makes it into space far enough to push away harmful radiation from outer space. That means that, for one thing, space programs could develop VLF technology to punch holes for spacecraft to travel through. As always, truth is stranger than fiction and more patient than Joe Dog.
Of course, I'm not patient. We got a great guest sitting in the background, but I got to introduce everybody. Let's bring in Blake, Skunk, and Heather. And again, Lewis is on assignment. If you're in the local area tomorrow morning around the 102.3 FM band, tune in and listen to Lewis give the local news live and direct. So let's go ahead and bring up our guest. The prophet of pop culture. It just says John, so it cut off. So I don't know what it says after John.
There you go.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
We're doing great. Let's get got to drag you around. Okay, there you are. How are you doing, John B Pyka? Okay, I didn't know which name if you were going to go with stage name or your real name, or didn't know what you was going to call.
Joe, have you not been paying attention over the last 6 weeks?
Well, I didn't know if you still flew the Impossibilist banner, or I just want to make sure. And you're freezing up.
I am the I am one of the Impossibilists. But only on special occasions. I am no longer going by the Big Daddy Cool moniker. And by the way, I'm trying to get connected to another device because I'm on my iPhone and it's all glitchy. So please excuse me while I try to log into my computer.
Okay. Well, do you want us to pull you down and just give me a wave or whatever when you're ready?
Well, that's fine. If you guys can hear me and see me okay, I can't hear you and see you. I mean, I can only hear you, Joe, and everything is all broken up.
Okay.
And I'm trying to log into. I'm trying to log in on my laptop, and my laptop has become a boat anchor all of a sudden.
Oh, hey, John, I'm going to tell you right now, one of the biggest problems with your equipment is you're on this show.
Is it a curse?
It's a curse.
For whatever reason, I cannot log into Facebook to get the link to get back on here. Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
That is, no.
It's that VLF that's working against
I'll tell you
now.
what. Let me wave at you when I got this all straightened out. I'll be
okay,
here. You guys talk about yourselves.
All right, that's what we'll do. We'll drop you down, bring everybody back to our regular screens. Hey, Skunk, what's up, bud?
I got nothing. Oh, I know there was something I was gonna say, Joe. What's something I was gonna say? Okay, Lewis wasn't here.
Yeah.
Somebody had to pitch in and help. Dan volunteered, and then you give the man shit.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well, Joe, you want to know? You know what? I'm gonna do this in a proper way. I'm gonna honor one of our good friends, Mark Michael, and I'm just gonna give you one of these.
Yeah. Do it twice.
Yeah.
Heather,
you want me to do some? You want me to do some more British Isles related insults as well? Because I could do that.
No, we'll pass on that.
Tell you to go get buggered.
Yeah. I think Heather is talking to the other half.
She's just sitting there looking at me like I'm supposed to be doing something for her. And I'm like, I just took you out 5 minutes ago.
Sure, I do have something to talk about, but I'm gonna wait until later because because it's gonna take a minute, and B, I kind of want John to see it. I think he'd like it.
All right. Well, how did Scrubhouse go? Your first broadcast?
It went fine. Dan, it underestimates himself, and it gets on my damn nerves. Don't do that.
Oh, come on. I don't know anything about horror. I know other things.
Well, that's the thing. Scrubhouse is not just about horror. Scrubhouse is all of schlocky cinema. We're not going after Oscar winners here. We might like films like Citizen Kane and Titanic and stuff like that. That's not our bread and butter. Our bread and butter is ridiculous stuff where, I don't know, a guy gets his head crushed in the record pressing machine. Phantom of the Paradise is one of our favorite films.
Yes, I know. I recognize the reference immediately. And Brian K. Morris says, hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. We also have Carl Witzman says, I didn't know about the radio waves in the Van Allen belt. He says, wow, I learned something on Stupid O'Clock.
This is the wrong show to learn things on.
Yes, you learned that Joe Dog is impatient.
Hey, we just weren't expecting like the entire dictionary to be read, just saying.
Well, I cut out like 3 pages of stuff. Evidently, I didn't cut out enough.
Yeah,
I tried to get it down to the.
Yeah, usually a news break is minute and a half max.
Okay, but in order for him to actually tell us the important part, he had to explain what the hell he was talking about. Yeah. This is how I feel whenever I sit on Armchair Rocket Scientists and you guys start talking about the rocket's going to do this, within the next 30 seconds, and I'm like, what the hell does that mean?
Yep.
Nobody wants to explain anything in detail because they're watching the
ask the questions. We will answer them. I stop in the middle of whatever's going to answer a question.
You talk about this stuff when the rocket's taking off.
Yeah, I'll talk about it when the rocket's taking off. So you might get a second for a, oh my God.
You guys are sitting there the whole entire time just watching the rocket, just like mouth agape, just like it's the most amazing thing you've ever seen.
It is.
It's 40 rocket launches that you guys have watched live, and you're still amazed, which is awesome.
Man does pretty interesting things like that.
Oh my gosh! Today, the booster from the SX radio came in to the port, and it was leaning.
It almost fell off the boat.
Again.
This is
we're still amazed. We're like looking at it to see what went wrong and what are they going to do to fix it.
Is it at least shallow enough water that they can retrieve it?
No,
not when it happened.
That's what spider webs out there.
That's what I'm saying is that that's awesome, but I don't want to interrupt your enjoyment of things just because I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't really care that much.
I would. I'm a teacher. I like to explain things and get other people as interested into it as I am.
You gotta understand that whenever I'm watching the rocket, I just want to see rocket take off and hope that rocket doesn't go boom.
Yeah.
Dan was explaining something that I actually was like really interested in. Did you notice I took my sunglasses off to listen to that?
Yep.
Like I was like,
so you could hear better.
And then all of a sudden, Joe, I was trying to, so I could get a better look at his face because I wanted to read his facial expressions, stuff like that. And Joe interrupts in the middle of it, and I'm like, "Oh, dude, I was listening to that. Shut up."
It was 5 minutes. He was going for 5 minutes.
Okay, you've gone for 5 minutes. Nobody interrupted you.
Hello, Arthur Michaela J. Welcome to Stupid O'Clock. I don't know if does anybody remember Michaela popping in here before, or
I don't think she ever has. By the way, congratulations.
Not a fan, but greetings and salutations.
She is author Michaela Jade now. Her book just came out. Yay!
And she's working on a new book. And one day earlier this week, she knocked out 9,000 words.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I don't even know how many words I wrote this week, and it wasn't very many. I mainly just wrote about movies that we watched.
Text messaged a whole lot and Facebook messaged, so probably 1,000 words.
I did get to write this one amazing sentence this week where I was putting up the vote. We're doing our best of the year vote on Scrubhouse in the Discord, and I put up this sentence. I love this sentence. It's, I can prove there isn't a God because Munchie exists.
I'm going to take that one at ear value there.
No loving God would allow this abomination, and that's why it's so great.
I feel the same way about American politics.
But yeah, Skunk, as far as your live show goes, I fixed your moderator settings, so none of those links and stuff happen again.
Oh, okay, thank you. You could still be our mod if you want to. It doesn't pay anything.
I know, but it's fine.
But
If I'm in the building, I'll do it.
Like, we need you to be there anyway because you're the only person to ask questions.
I know. I tried to ask random ones.
I watched the Creatures Features recording last night after things went really quiet in the house, and it was fun. Not quite Elvira entertaining because there was no extra dimensional. Yes, well, I was trying to find a euphemism for that, but no, the people on there are really neat, and they've got their own spin on things. It's not like the old shop theater where the host came on and just laughed and screamed and went to the movie. There was some interesting stuff. The weirdest coincidence was the guest was an actress who does not only live acting but voice acting. Her name was Holly Fields, and I'm going, oh dear. If you mishear that, she's a relative.
Yeah, we got a good conversation going on over on the chat side.
Yeah, we're being ignored.
Yeah, author Michaela Jade says she's a newbie. Brian says, hiya, Carly. Carl Witzman says, Michaela. And Michaela said she had a good day. She just got to keep up with the competition.
There you go.
And Carl Witzman.
You skipped one already. See, you can't be Brian.
No,
give it a horrible
nobody can be Brian K. Morris from.
You skipped Carlene. Carlene says, hi, Brian. And then we have Carl Witzman here. Says, Brian, Carly, and I are over on YouTube. Oh, that's that. Thank you so much for watching us over on YouTube. And then we have author Michaela Jade. Oh, hi, Carl. I'll hop over there. She's going to be joining Brian and Carly and Carl over on YouTube. Well, that's wonderful. All right, and then we have Carl Witzman. I talked Michaela into coming over here. That's well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Carl.
I really appreciate that, Carl. And Carl Witzman also says, nobody can be Brian. Well, I think I don't know. I could speak for myself. I don't know if I can speak for anybody else, but I think I'm doing a fantastic job at doing Brian K. Morris. And at Brian K. Morris from Rising Tide Publications, lol, let's hope no one can be me. Well, Brian, I think I'm doing a fantastic job being you. And let me see here. I don't have any commercials to pop in during this little time period where I'm not talking, but I will.
Just as you start saying that, look at Carl's next comment.
Got to monetize. Yes, Carl Witzman. Got to monetize. Yes, I need to throw a commercial over to.
We have our merch store on Stupid O'Clock that they can go to and click the link, and it'll take them to our Teespring store where they can buy hoodies, coffee mugs, masks, and T-shirts.
There you go. That's why I love the.
Or PayPal.me/Joe McKill for a direct contribution.
That's why I love the. That's why I love the Never Mind the Furthermore show. While I'm listening at work, Brian's rapid fire going through everything.
He does.
The comments start like an hour before the show. But people show up before the show and just start having a conversation with each other. It's like a little community. But Brian, because with Never Mind the Furthermore set up, Brian reads literally every. I don't think he's ever skipped a comment. If he has, he's done it completely by accident. Yeah, but he'll sit there and he'll go through every single comment, going down the list, and he always has something to say about it. And sometimes he'll get stuck on a comment, and he'll go on this on a ramble for a little bit, but he always makes sure that before he ends the show, which he usually has to end the show to go feed Cookie, before he ends the show, he has read every single comment that has come in. By the time he gets to the end of the show, he's on the last few comments.
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
Well, I would like to apologize. I am not a professional news reader. I am by no means in any competition with Lewis, who I highly respect, and I am a very long-winded bugger. I cut that article down by 3 pages to try and get it to one single page, and I almost made it before the boredom limit kicked in.
Yeah. All right.
Joe, he hasn't given us a wave yet. We're waiting on the wave.
Waiting on a wave or a thumbs up.
Something.
Can you hear me now?
We got nothing.
No, you can't.
He's not. Yeah, I don't think he can.
He's not giving us any
indication at all.
Indication
Ain't
at
walking
all.
on sunshine yet.
Up, thumbs down. What's going on?
Very nice.
And
Not nice.
okay.
It's adjusting settings again.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to have to go get a refill. I will be right back. Let me see if I can get this mouse to work. Yes. Okay. Da-da-da.
Michaela's over with the cool kids on YouTube now.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
And Carl Witzman says Brian's inspired him to write a story about an audience who decides to keep a broadcaster on the air until he dies.
That sounds really cool.
That's Brian's nightmare. No.
All right.
Now
We
we
got
have
a pop again. We got a
Maybe.
We got a pop. We don't have it. We don't have video yet.
video. All right. This is the behind the scenes at Stupid O'Clock as we watch a white screen to see if it turns into
A
Turns
A
into
picture.
John B Pyka.
And it went away.
WSTPD.
Back to the conversation in the comments.
well, I was gonna say
Yeah.
speaking of merchandising and Rising Tide Publications, I did promise Brian that I was going to talk all about the Scrub House stuff. And Scrub House is we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook. I will link.
Post it to the Stupid O'Clock Facebook page.
I already did that. But,
We'll do it again.
As the song says, one more time.
What I'm going to do, and I don't know.
Okay.
Think I have to go to the actual video. I think that's how I do this.
Okay.
Are you trying for like an original share?
I think. Well, no. I was gonna try to put it on YouTube.
I was going to say you can share the video, you can share the channel.
I was gonna go to YouTube and post, but I think if I do it on YouTube, right, then when I try to post a link, it's gonna error out because YouTube's gonna block it because I'm posting a link. So.
Oh my gosh, Carl. Bad joke.
All right. And Brian K. Morris just said, Skunk, you young people are making me so proud, wiping away a tear. So very proud. And we got video.
We got a
I see
video.
it, John.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us now? Hey, John.
Thumbs
Yeah,
up,
hold on.
thumbs down.
Hold on, I think you said yeah.
I think
Yes.
we think it's yes. Can you hear
Yes.
everybody?
Can you hear
I
human?
can hear you.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Listen, my
Okay.
internet is the worst on the planet. So
We need to get you Starlink.
Now, are we functional now?
Yes.
Somewhat.
Okay.
All right. So let's go ahead and get John's interview started. Drag John up here to the middle of the screen. Okay. Did you know that trick, John?
no, I haven't learned that yet.
Yeah. When you bring people into this format, you can just click on their picture and drag them over to bring them up, big screen.
Unless they talk too much and then you cut them off.
Yeah.
We got robots again.
Yeah. And
I think his son's playing games or something, like Xbox or something.
probably
Draining the whole internet.
Yeah, probably pulling all his bandwidth.
Mm-hmm. I see the character, and
I don't know. One of our cats is searching porn in the other room.
And
Did you guys lose me?
Yeah.
We got you in 2 places.
You are
cloned.
I don't know what's going on.
All right. Yeah, you froze up.
See, that camera is
Okay,
better,
now he's moving.
but the sound is horrible.
Actually, this is actually better than what it was.
Yes.
So let's
go with this.
If we can hear you like we could before. If you can hear us, we're
now
doing
I
good.
can.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
I got nothing.
All right. John, welcome to the show, John.
How you doing?
We're doing great. I'm going to break it out. I'm going to break out. You've probably watched the show. I always ask 3 questions right up front. So, to let you explain, I ask you all 3 questions at the same time to let you figure them out, whatever order you want to do. It is, who are you? What do you do? And how the heck do you get suckered into this show?
Well, my name is John Pyka. I am the artist sometimes known as Big Daddy Cool, but I am the prophet of pop culture, the host of the Back of the Cereal Box podcast, and the founder and creator of the League of Impossibilists. Yay! And I've got the some artwork right here somewhere. The League of Impossibilists. This is the webcomic that we're in the middle of producing. That's me. Channeling the power of the cosmos. And that is available on patreon.com/impossibilists. And your co-host, Blake Wilson, is one of the founding members of the Impossibilists. And we go to conventions and we appear in costume, and I publish books and comic books and other fun stuff based on those characters. And then I do a couple of podcasts, the Diesel Punk podcast and the Back of the Cereal Box podcast, and recently retired from being a live stage entertainer. How did I get here? I have no clue, man. There was this tornado that came through, picked up the house, and dropped me in the middle of Oz.
So we're the red path and not the gold path, then, right?
Yeah, we're the red path.
That's right.
Where does the Gold Brick Road go?
That's
that
the
takes-
Yellow Brick Road.
Yeah.
In your book, maybe. Mine's full of gold bricks.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I can't speak the gold bricks, but I've known a few in my lifetime.
Oh, don't we all? But John, I was hoping to have you be a part of Halicon, but you came down with a little bug, and I'm glad to see you doing a lot better from that. And when you told me that, when you first told me on Facebook that you'd tested positive for COVID-19, that was when I was fixing to ask you for what I wanted you to do for Halicon. So I didn't even want to push the issue, but I'm going to tell you now what I wanted you to do. I wanted you to make me a video of you singing the national anthem to open Halicon. That was what I wanted you.
Yeah, I couldn't have done that when I was sick.
No.
But
And
I can do it for next year.
Well, you may do it in person next year.
Maybe, yeah. So for those of you who are watching, I barely survived COVID. 15 days in quarantine on my back, about to die. I was released and sent back to work with a note. And I walk up the steps to our office and immediately start gasping for air. I couldn't breathe. And they gave me some inhalers, some steroids, and that helped a little bit for about a week and a half. And then I got out of the shower on a Friday morning before Halloween and couldn't breathe again. Gasping for air. They sent me to the ER. CT scans and tests later. I had blood clots in my lungs, 90% obstruction. And that's why I couldn't breathe. And so I spent 3 days in the hospital, pumped up full of super powerful blood thinners, and then sent home on Eliquis for the next 6 months. Yay, I get to take an old person's drug, and had to be on oxygen for 3 weeks after getting out of the hospital. And
well, we're very glad you've recovered so far.
Until just last week. What's that?
We're very glad that you've recovered this much so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I finally started feeling normal about a week ago. From September 25th to the second week of December is how long it took me to recover fully.
So you think you're fully? You don't have any? You don't feel any of the effects?
Well, I'm still dealing with a little bit of dizziness and vertigo, and that could be from the blood thinner. But no, I don't. You know, I feel fine otherwise.
Okay, good. I am so glad you're. I mean, I didn't want to bother you or pester you, but you can ask Blake. I asked
Pretty much every day.
Yeah. Has he heard from you? Are you okay? You know, I mean, I don't live up around.
I think I was keeping. I think I was keeping the team up to date on a pretty daily basis.
Yeah.
Wasn't I, Blake?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And we lost him.
It's the Heather show now.
It's a Heather show.
No.
Heather show. It's Heather show.
Heather's not interesting right now.
No. Heather is knitting. And
It's the
Brian,
Heather show. It's not the Heather show. What? Oh.
And Brian K. Morris. Heather is our Cindy Kep. Okay.
You're gonna have to explain that, Lucy.
There he is.
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Sorry guys, I got bumped off.
Yeah.
Your connection's a little better.
Yeah. Your screen looks a little better, but
well, I'm not on Wi-Fi. I'm using my cellular data, which is really strong where I am, but
yeah,
I couldn't get my laptop to connect through Wi-Fi at all.
Yeah.
But I don't ever have this problem, Joe, when I'm doing my own StreamYard broadcasts.
Like I said, I am cursed. I rent a room to this guy named Murphy, and he loves messing with my shows.
I have a theory.
What is it, Skunk?
John's not hosting.
Probably.
If on his show he's the host.
Yeah.
Because he's not the host here.
Wait a minute. Who came in first? Dan was in first.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what's in second?
No, I was second, and I've run 300 up down, so I would be okay. But I wonder if it's based on who was in the room first.
No, it's.
I don't know. It's on third.
Yeah.
Joe would have been in the room first.
Who's on first?
Because somebody
Yeah,
had to let
exactly.
Dan in.
Blake did.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Blake got his
Hey,
rights
Joe.
back.
Mhm.
Yeah. Say what?
Hey, Joe,
Yes.
who's on first?
I don't know.
He's on
third.
second. Oh wait, yeah, I was on third.
Oh,
What's on
hey,
second?
John, have you seen Jeff Dunham's
Third base.
passwords? Passwords with Peanut?
Jeff Dunham. You know what? Listen. So you want to hear a story about Jeff Dunham? I performed with Jeff Dunham. I shared the stage with Jeff Dunham before he was Jeff Dunham.
Yeah.
Back in the early days of the 1990s, he and I did the comedy club circuit together. I did magic. He did his ventriloquism. And back then, he only had one puppet. He had Peanut, and that was it. Yeah, I know Jeff Dunham.
Yeah, check out his
What about Jeff
video.
Dunham?
Check out his video that he just put out, Peanut with Peanut, called Passwords. And
It's who's on first, but for the digital age.
yeah, but for the digital age. And I mean, it is probably one of the best redone Who's on First out there right now.
I don't know. And he's gone again. And
And-
Skunk Rocker Show.
Hey, what's up, everybody? All right, let me tell you right now.
Scrub House Video
about a
Club.
Brand new.
Oh,
Yeah, I do have that, by the way. There it is.
There you go.
Look at it. Sundays at 8
Look.
p.m., 7 Central. I can finally do math. And there's all the places you can see it. Plus, I linked to our website, which doesn't
Yeah,
even link to the show.
I saw
Well, we
that
have a
on the
store.
Discord
We have a store.
about the math.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
He
well,
says he has a store. Let him plug his store real quick.
Plug your store. Plug your
it's on
store.
the scrubhouse.com. There's a store link. Go there. There's t-shirts. They're all dorky.
Is the
Hey, John's back.
Is
Yeah,
the
John's
Nintendo
back.
is the Nintendo cover one up there?
You know what? Hold on. I see what's going on here. Hold on.
Okay.
All right.
We're going to be.
Can you see me? Can you hear
Go.
me?
Yeah,
There
there
we
you
go.
go. You're actually
Can you-
moving in
can you
real
hear me?
time.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Am I here? Am I there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, you're somewhere.
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Can
We're
you
here.
hear
Hey
us?
guys,
He can't hear
you
us.
have
Hear
got
us.
school kittens, friends and foes. I'm just going to take over the show because I can't hear or see anybody else. My Wi-Fi was fighting against my cellular connection, so I turned off the Wi-Fi. I went just to cellular. I don't know if that's making a difference or not.
We're hearing audio with you. We're not your video's laggy, but your audio's awesome. And now, yeah,
And now Blake went on the stream with audio only.
Blake just went off screen for a minute.
See, it's a shame that I keep getting bumped off and having issues because I gotta say, I look fantastic.
Yeah. Well, John,
I mean,
you
look,
always.
hey, Joe, I don't know if you noticed, but I lost 30 pounds as a result of the COVID. See that cut right there?
Yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't there 30 pounds ago.
Yeah. Oh, but that's not a weight reduction program I recommend for anybody.
Well, no. Now I got to figure out how to stay there. That's the hard part,
Yeah.
is maintaining.
Yeah, I've discovered one thing during this pandemic and quarantine stuff. I like to eat.
Who doesn't?
That's the bane of my existence right now.
My
Really? I
comment
learned
is
that
you
back
don't get
when I
this
was
fat
poverty
not liking food.
Oh,
But I'm trying.
So-
Zero sugar.
yeah. So what is your big project going right now? The Impossibilist comic or Back of the Cereal Box?
Both. So every night I'm working on artwork for the League of Impossibilists webcomic. Doug Aller did the pencils and I do the inks. So we're kind of backwards. So this is the page that I'm working on right now. And, you know, Blake, what was it? Almost a year ago, I guess 9 months ago.
About 9 months.
We were at an event with Doug, and he was like, you know what? You guys need a webcomic. It was in February in Murfreesboro. I can't believe it's been that long ago.
Yeah.
And he said, we need to do a webcomic or comic series. And I said, okay, well, we can do that. And so Doug just started drawing. He started drawing the pages and with a vague idea of what the story should be, and then he sends them to me, and I complete the pages. See, here's this is in progress. I complete the artwork and I write the story. We are literally writing the story based on what he drew.
It's pretty
That's
awesome.
not how you're supposed to do it.
Well, it's different.
We should call it
But
which
it's
its own
actually
style.
working.
Yeah, like inverse comics or something.
Ooh, that's a neat idea, Blake.
Yeah, we need to turn.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
We're doing it backwards. So,
Mhm.
In conjunction with the webcomic, I've got a series, a repackaged book series coming out from Seventh Star Press called the Decoverse. It was originally Tales from the Flip Side, my previous book. And Social Justice Warriors got me fired from my book deal. And so I got a new publisher, and it's going to be republished, repackaged as Tales of the Decoverse. And it's really the foundation of the League of Impossibilists. And the third volume is actually called Rise of the Impossibilists. So that's coming out soon. So I'm working on the books, working on the comic series. And, you know, we make appearances at conventions. I'm not so much interested in doing a bunch of programming anymore like we used to market. Mainly, we're just going to go and, you know, market the books, our products, and just have a good time. And then back at the Cereal Box, the podcast, it's every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. when all of you people are apparently asleep because you're not watching.
I'm very much asleep.
Yeah, I'm very much asleep on Saturday morning. But I have called.
I'm up at 5:00 every morning, and I get to sleep until 7 on Saturdays, so I can do back at the Cereal Box. Basically, it is. I think everyone on the show, except for maybe Skunk and Heather, will remember when we were kids. Saturday mornings meant getting up early, sitting on the couch with a big bowl of breakfast cereal, watching cartoons, and then going over to your friend's house after, or they came over and you played your Atari 2600, and you guys basically did what we're doing right now, sit around and just talk about cool stuff.
Yeah,
John,
Joe,
Heather and I aren't that young, man.
I was about to say,
What's
how
that?
old do you think I am?
We're not that young, man. We did the same exact thing, man. Instead of, Saturday morning cartoons, big bowl of cereal, video games afterwards. That was life. Kids
Yeah,
today, they don't know.
that's-
Heather and Skunk are
you
the
guys
last
look like you're in your
generation.
20s to me.
Um, I'm the same age as them.
Yeah.
I turn 40 next year.
Yeah, I'm 38.
Yeah.
Hey,
When
Blake,
I was a kid, I'm sorry to say, there were no video games. There was
I
just
had a
barely
Commodore
video,
that
much
played
less games.
cartridges.
Now, John, you do. I've watched a couple of them, and you start out the show seriously with a bowl of cereal.
That's right.
Mhm.
We and I try a different cereal every week, and so do the co-hosts. This week we're trying out Honey Nut Frosted Flakes, which are epic, by the way, and Dunkin' Donuts Mocha Crisp something.
I bet your wife loves all those cereal boxes in the cupboard.
Well, so here's the thing. My daughter loves breakfast cereal. So I'll have a couple of bowls for the show, and then my daughter finishes them off during the week.
That works.
Ah, that's how. I mean, I love the concept. It's brilliant, honestly.
Well, oh, thanks. You know, I came up with the idea because, you know, for the last 20 years, you know, I've been playing the zoot-suited swing hipster Big Daddy Cool. And, you know, I've had a lot of fun with that. But the fact of the matter is, that was one aspect of my personality. And Blake knows this because he's been hanging with me for about 3 years now. There's so much more to me than just that character. But that character was so restrictive in that, you know, a cool gangster dude isn't going to be talking about comic books and cartoons and Star Wars movies on Saturday morning. So, you know, COVID kind of set everything on end for me. And, you know, I look back over the last 30 years, and I've been doing the character for 20, but for the last 30 years, I've been performing professionally all over the world. And I you know, I'm in the hospital and I'm looking around going, you know, thinking about how many family vacations I missed, how many times, you know, I couldn't do something with friends. Like countless times, Blake and the other impossibilists would say, hey, let's go out and do this. And I would be like, guys, I can't. I got a show, or I got a tour, I got a gig. I'm, you know, performing 4 or 5 times in a week. And I'm missing time with friends and family. And, you know, alone in the hospital with COVID, all of a sudden I realized, you know what? I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm not going to do that anymore. And I lost all desire to perform on stage in front of an audience. As of right now, you know, I've not done a show since the beginning of September, and I don't miss it one bit. Now, that might change after the new year. Who knows? But as of right now, all I want to do is focus on art, writing, and doing the digital podcasts. Because I can do Back of the Cereal Box on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. My family's still asleep. We finish at 9. They're up by then. We go out to breakfast together as a family. It's a win-win-win. And I'm having a ball doing it.
Yeah, well, Skunk and Heather has seen me say it, and I believe in Blake. When it comes to doing our show, if your if family comes up, your family comes first.
Mm-hmm.
And
how many times did I have to skip out because I had something going on with nursing?
A lot. And what did I tell you?
School comes first.
Yep.
Yes.
You graduate, young lady.
Well, and it's not just family. It's friends, and it's, you know, having put off things that I've wanted to do forever. You know, travel. Can you believe this? I played a Chicago gangster for 20 years, and I've never been to Chicago. Because I'm always doing a show. I'm always doing something that keeps me from just going. And my goal for 2021 is to just have the freedom to pick up and go. And I've created a whole mobile video studio for the podcast. Not what I'm using right now, but you know, I've got a mobile light and speaker, mics, and the whole 9 yards, so I can do it literally from anywhere. And you know, my goal is to go do the things I've wanted to do for the last 30 years, but have put off because I got a gig all the time.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud. Actually, John, really, I'm happy for you because it's doing what you're doing as long as you've done it. If it don't make you happy, why keep doing it?
Well, and it wasn't a matter of happiness. It was just a matter of having some, I don't know, almost empty regret. And I just, you know, I looked at my life and I'm like, I'm investing all of this time entertaining complete strangers, you know, trying to please complete strangers. And there are people who don't call me anymore to go do things because they know I'm probably going to say, oh, I can't. I got a show. I can't make it. And I just don't want that to be the thing anymore. And, you know, I had this conversation today that at the end of the day, you know, at the end of your life, you're going to look back and it's not going to be the memories you made with complete strangers that matter. And so you got to find a balance. And so this is my balance. And, you know, when I go to a convention, I'm not going to perform or to do a show. I'm going because I get to hang out with my buddies. And it's just it's a mind shift, you know, a change in the way you think about things. So,
well,
there you have it.
Yeah, like I said, I'm proud of you, and I might need to look at some of your mobile studio stuff because Heather and I also run another show, the Armchair Rocket Science. I don't know if you've ever popped in and watched it.
Yeah, I have.
Our goal is to actually be able to go down and cover some of those launches live with our own cameras and stuff, and you know, be able to broadcast it. And of course, you've probably seen my big yellow truck from the convention, you know, that I haul everything. You know, that sucker sits. As a matter of fact, I've not cranked it since July.
Your battery's probably dead.
Probably. I need to go move it and drive it around. I mean, because, you know, the year's been, well, you know, but yeah, I'm actually considering converting that to a mobile studio and using that new Starlink satellite service that's coming in to be able to give me the up and down. I see Skunk wanting to say something.
I'm just shocked that he's never been to Chicago. Like as somebody who was born and raised in Chicago, wait, you not going to Chicago? Oh, you got to be kidding me! You got to go to Chicago, man.
I've been to Chicago.
Your first trip.
Wait a minute.
Here's the
real crazy part about it. You ready to hear the real crazy part? I grew up just south of Cleveland, Ohio, but 2 hours from Chicago, and my dad practically grew up in Chicago, and I've never had the opportunity to go. No, I take that back. I've had the opportunity plenty of times, but I chose not to go because something else was put in front of it.
You gotta, John, you gotta put it on your bucket list now that you're not doing regular shows anymore. Well, you gotta go to Chicago.
I'm gonna do it maybe 1st of January. I've got a bunch of friends that live in Chicago, and I'm just going to go up there and visit them.
You know what? I'm going to go as far as to say, brother, that I'm not even going to tell you any places to go see. I'm not that kind of person. Go up there and experience the town itself. Experience the entire city the way that you want to. I would go hang out with your friends and just do that. Don't go see Navy Pier. Don't go to the Bean. Don't go to Willis Tower. Just go up there and hang out, have a good time. If I was going to make any recommendations whatsoever, you can go over to Des Plaines, go to Thacker Street and see one of the roads that the Blues Brothers drove down. I only know that because I used to live there, and that was cool trivia. And then outside of that, go to Portillo's and get a hot dog. Maybe
I would have gone sooner. I would have gone 2 weeks ago, except COVID shutdowns happened all over again.
Yeah,
they locked the whole city down again.
All right, I'll be right back. I got to go. I got to deal with puppies. All right, I'll be right back.
Puppies?
Yeah. His dog just had a litter.
Oh, really?
It was supposedly fixed before, but that turns out not to have been the case.
Wait a minute. How do you not know that a dog is not fixed?
It's a rescue.
Yeah. Someone mistakenly wrote down in the dog's records that it had been fixed, when in fact it had not.
Well, now they tattoo the dog. They put a tattoo on their belly.
it's a little bit older than the tattoo. So
it was also one of the. I think it was also like that particular place where they got the dog from wasn't exactly on the up and up. They're nice people. Don't get me wrong. They're nice people. Don't get me wrong. But they're not.
They're less than meticulous about keeping accurate records.
Exactly. Yeah.
What kind of dog is it?
A teeny tiny one.
A teacup Chihuahua.
I love Chihuahuas.
The dad is a Chihuahua as well.
I am not at all appreciating this Chicago slander going on in the chat right now, okay? You're hurting my feelings. Stop it. I love Chicago. I'm from Chicago. Go Bears, go Cubs, go Sox, go everything. I love Chicago. Stop slandering Chicago. I know you guys
I've been refraining from quoting the ZZ Top just to keep from offending anybody.
Let me tell you. All right. I've been to a lot of towns in Illinois. Okay, I've been to a lot of places. Okay, and I Sweet Home Chicago. Okay, that's the name of the song for a reason. Okay, don't get me wrong. I also like Bloomington and Pontiac, but
I have been to Pontiac, and I've been to Bloomington. Now here's the thing, Skunk. Here's something that a lot of people in the chat don't know. And this is why Chicago is special, even though I've never visited it. It is the home of what we call bar magic. Close-up magic performed behind the bar was created and perfected in Chicago at a place called Julian's Steakhouse. And that is like one of the holy meccas of magic. And that's why it's a shame I haven't been there.
Have you been to House of Cards?
I performed there for 2 years.
Okay.
Hey, John, you were one of the first performers there.
I was one of the first 6.
I've always wanted to go, but I just don't go downtown.
Well,
if
are you in Nashville, Heather?
22 miles south.
She's in Smyrna.
Yeah, I'm in Smyrna.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm in Gallatin. I performed at House of Cards for 2 years, on stage and close up. And when COVID hit and they got shut down, they made some changes, and I've not been back since. And now I don't really care to go back, but it's cool. It's pretty awesome. But when you go, you need to make a decision. Do you want to eat dinner or take out a second mortgage on your house?
It ain't cheap, from what I heard.
I've realized that 3 people now have said that they've been to Pontiac, Illinois. And look, I have family in Pontiac. I'm not shaming the place, but why is anyone outside of Grandview, USA? Why is anyone going to Pontiac, Illinois?
I thought you were talking about Pontiac, Michigan.
No, Pontiac, Illinois. Pontiac, Illinois is it's a small farming town right outside of Bloomington, Illinois. And it was where they filmed Grandview, USA, which is an awesome movie if you haven't seen it. It's really cool watching Grandview because I'm like, I've been there. I've been to that grocery store, you know. But Pontiac, Illinois is a small farm town. Like, it's rural. It's rural. You can go and I'll put it this way. When I was in Pontiac, there was this kid we knew named Ken. He was friends with my sister. And they would stand they would stand literally on the sidewalk smoking weed. Nobody cared. There was nothing going on in that town. I'd walk to the cinema.
I've been to downtown Chicago once. We went to the Navy Pier, and it cost us $48 to get out of the parking garage. We were there for 3 hours.
Michaela's right. Pontiac is not rural. It has Walmart. Well, Pontiac is rural. They do not have a Starbucks.
Yet.
Hey, Michaela Jade. How you doing, Michaela Jade?
Yeah, we got Michaela Jade in there. We got Brian.
Brian K. How you doing,
Uh,
Brian K? Good to see
we
you,
got
brother.
Carl. We got Carl Witzman and Carly
There he
Carlene.
is, Carl.
And Carly Carlene's in here. And there's there's a couple more in here. I don't know who they are. I haven't got a comment from them. But we got 4 people on YouTube. We got a one on the Stupid O'Clock group and one on the Stupid O'Clock page. Thankfully, none of my friends are watching on my page. But yeah, we're actually broadcasting to 4 pages now, John.
That's awesome. Right now I'm doing 3. I've been tempted to upgrade my StreamYard to do more. But the thing is, my friends don't watch me. This is the most frustrating thing. Maybe it's the lesson that or the penance I have to pay for, being dedicated to entertaining complete strangers for 20, 30 years. My friends don't care what I'm doing. They don't watch my shows. It's all folks I don't know, really.
Yeah.
I want to point out something real quick. Brian says they might have a Starbucks by now in Pontiac, Illinois. Well, Brian, I Googled it, and the closest Starbucks to Pontiac is in Streeter, which is like, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes away. It's over there it's over there northwest. It's over by Topeka.
Yeah. And Brian K. Boris says, I watch you on the reruns, John.
Yeah.
Now, we do have we do have some actually great numbers on reruns. I just looked before going live, in our last episode, we have almost 2,000 views from last Saturday.
Wow.
On YouTube. Yeah, so we're doing really well on YouTube, and the reporting metrics on Facebook on pages has changed recently, and it's become really difficult to really get any sense of what we're doing on YouTube. But Facebook on the or other way around, really hard to tell what we're doing on Facebook. YouTube, on the other hand, the metrics we get are great, and we get some great views on YouTube. I'm really happy with the response that we've had. I guess the concept of sitting down with that bowl of cereal and just having a discussion about geek pop culture for an hour has really resonated with people.
Like I said, it's a brilliant idea. It's something different, and that is the whole thing to making a to grow your YouTube channel. I was watching. Have you ever heard of Mr. Beast on YouTube?
No.
He just has 42 million viewers or subscribers.
That's remarkable.
And he's 22 years old.
Think about this for a minute. How remarkable is that? How old?
22.
22.
So, John,
think about this for a minute. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let me put this into perspective for you. Here's the kind of videos that Mr. Beast does. In one of the videos, they had a thing where they basically they go to a car dealership, or they opened a car dealership. It was not a real car dealership, and people would come in and they would sit down inside of the cars, and what he was like showed them the car, like, sit in the car, come sit with me, check out the interior of this car, right? And then everybody would come sit in the car, and then he would be all like, all right, guess what? This is now a game show. The person who stays in the car the longest gets the car. And everybody's like, wait, what? And they're like, no, I'm serious. If you stay in the car the longest, the car is yours. Title, everything. You get. He would just it would do things where people would like dance in the street. I'll give you $10,000. You know, that's his whole entire thing. He just gives money away. He's a very charitable person, and it's gotten so many views on YouTube. It pays for everything that he does.
That's amazing. So, how many 42 million subscribers, viewers on average? And I've never heard of him. So, think about how remarkable that is. That, someone is a megastar on YouTube and has so many viewers, but yet I'm in that market and I have no clue who he is. It just kind of goes to show that even the biggest stars on YouTube are statistically small potatoes. And that's true in the entertainment world in general. We all know who Madonna is, right? But believe it or not, there are people out there who have never heard of her in the United States. 8 million records sold, statistically speaking, out of 342 million people in the United States, only 8 million records sold. That's statistically zero.
Yep.
It's just remarkable when you think about it like that to me.
And, you brought up, Madonna as musical. I'm going to tell you, some of the best musicians in the world right now are people you've never heard of.
Well, so that is absolutely true. And here's something to consider. People who make the top 1% of musicians, 1% actually make a living doing it. And out of that 1%, that's hundreds of thousands of musicians you've never heard of. Yep. And they're making six-figure incomes, playing corporate gigs, parties. Madonna is a singer, right? Said Michaela Jade. Yes, Michaela, she is. Papa don't preach. I've been losing.
Madonna is great. Y'all stop being. The chat is full of haters tonight. What is going on?
Oh, well,
listen. I have mad respect for anyone who has made a career doing what they were born to do.
Oh yeah, and actually, your real world is dealing with some of these people. Correct?
It is. Yeah, my day job. I run a I run a small boutique insurance agency that caters specifically to the music industry, but some of my clients are the biggest superstars in the world, and names I can't,
I was about to say, how NDA'd are you?
Yeah, very. I can't talk about who they are, but one of our clients had the biggest tour in the world last year. One of the guys that I talked to just yesterday to help him enroll in health insurance for 2021, he just dropped a brand new jazz record that is epic, 16 Grammy Award winner. And I talk to these people on a daily basis, and they know me by name, by first name. They call me. Sometimes they just drop by the office to, chat. One of the artists that I represent, a top tier country artist, she just dropped by one day to play me her new record before it got released to retail.
Cool.
It's pretty awesome. It's pretty cool.
Now, have you been following the show The Masked Singer?
So, I've seen it. I've watched some episodes. I don't watch it religiously. I did watch the video that Donny Osmond posted about his whole journey, because I'm a huge Donny Osmond fan, and
my wife would agree with that.
Show, but to be honest with you guys, I don't watch a lot of TV.
Yeah, you cut the cable too, didn't you?
Yeah, we cut the cable. We do streaming only. And I pick one or two TV shows that I really watch. Like, The Mandalorian is my show right now. I'm watching that, and I'm watching Swamp Thing. And I'm really frustrated with the CW app because they're not consistent about when they release Swamp Thing episodes on the CW app, the streaming app, and it pisses me off. And I don't know that I actually like the show, but I'm invested now. And I need to see what happens.
You okay, Scott?
But I don't want
he just reminded me of something.
Oh, okay.
I am aware.
It just he said two things there that got my attention. One was the CW app being terrible. It is. And on the same conversely, he also mentioned a television show that you watch, not necessarily because you like it, but because you're invested. And for me, that was the last 4 seasons of Supernatural. I was like, I just got to know how the story ends. Pick it up.
X-Files.
Pick it up. Let's go. Yeah, X-Files was the same way. The last couple of seasons of X-Files, I was like, dear God, just end it already, please. Give us a satisfied conclusion. That movie sucked.
So Skunk, what were you satisfied with the series finale of Supernatural?
Yes and no. They did the same exact.
People have been screaming about it.
They did the same exact thing that The Good Place did, in which oh God, we have to wrap this up in one episode, and we have to rush through everything, which is exactly what they did. They are at an episode. They had a finale that should have taken another season, but they were just way past their prime at that point. They needed to end it, but they tried to cram everything into one episode.
They could have made it 2-hour episodes.
Yeah, basically.
14 seasons, right?
15.
Yeah, 15.
15.
15 seasons.
If I had to guess, I would have gone for 17, but
so
I defer to the experts.
I have a confession to make. Everything about Supernatural I love and is in my wheelhouse, but I've never seen a single episode all the way through. Because when it came out, it was at a time when I forget why. I just wasn't interested in it when it came out. And then, 3 or 4 seasons go by, and now if I'm going to start watching it, it's a deep investment. And I'm like, do I have the time to invest? And is this going to be like other CW shows that are filled with teen drama, and it's really the same story rehashed every week, just with new drama? So I've never seen an episode of Supernatural all the way through.
I have seen 2 episodes all the way through.
I've watched the entire first season all the way through.
I've seen the series finale and the Scooby-Doo episode.
I've seen the Scooby-Doo episode all the way through.
I have only ever seen the Scooby-Doo episode.
I can say, this is what I can say about the show, right? The first 5 seasons of the show are amazing. And after that, it begins to go on a downhill, but it's a very slow downhill till about season 13, at which point I stopped giving a shit.
See, that's the other thing. 5 seasons, that's too much. Look, I loved Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I know a lot of people are kind of on the fence about it. They either loved it or hated it. I loved it. But 7 seasons was too much. Too much. I want a show to have a finite ending. I want to know that it's going to end and have a solid ending. 3 seasons, perfect. 4, maybe. But I really don't want a show to go past 3 seasons or 4 seasons.
I've got to disagree with you there.
You do?
Yes. I'm a Doctor Who fan. I've been watching since the 70s. I have seen every existing episode since 63. I never
See,
wanted
brother,
to end.
Brother, listen, hats off to you, because this is going to have my geek card pulled. I have never seen a single episode of Doctor Who. And before you crucify me.
No. I to have that in front of you, left to do on your scratch off list for the rest of your life. I admire that. Now, one day, it's going to take about 5 years, but one day, it would be really neat if you sat down and you watched every single thing. And I don't expect anybody to do that, but I am a fanatic, and I watch. The only Doctor Who corollary that I don't have anything to do with is the audio, because there is just so much that I can't devote the time to it. If I had been in and got into it first ever and kept going with that just as well as show, that would have been fine. But now it's like there's 15 years worth of stuff. And I'm talking about it would take me 15 years to listen to it.
Well, good grief. We're talking about a series that's been around for 57 years.
Oh, yeah. And
well, and that's why I haven't gotten into it. See, I was only aware of Doctor Who very much on the periphery until I was in college. And, by then, it had been on for decades.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I just kind of knew about it, but I'd never seen it. And by the time I was really aware of it was when Eggleston was the Doctor. And that was airing on Sci-Fi.
Yep, 2005.
And, I was like, okay, this is a show about intergalactic, interdimensional time travel. This has me written all over it. But then I realized, oh my God, there's 26 years worth of material.
Before the first Eccleston, yes.
And he's gone.
And he jumped.
He didn't jump. He hit a wall.
Yeah. The data cat met him. Okay,
he said I can't wait till he comes back, because he said something, and everybody else was talking, and stuff was being said, and I have a comment.
He's back. There he is. Okay.
Hey guys,
there you go.
Sorry, I got bumped off again.
Let him do his thing.
No, go right ahead.
Yeah, go right ahead. Go finish it up.
Yeah. So sorry I got bumped off again, but I was saying, I did not want to jump into the middle of a series with so much history without being able to make an investment into really giving it the time it deserves. So I will tell you this, that as a concept, I love Doctor Who. From a visual aesthetics perspective, I love Doctor Who. I've never been able to dedicate the commitment to watching it. So maybe the time I pulled out quite yet.
John, I have two things to say to you about that, and they're both poignant.
And Carlene's right.
The first one is you really, he's gone again. Damn it.
Carly says the good thing about Doctor Who is you don't have to watch what came before.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay, well, that's what Carly posted.
I don't give a.
Yeah. All right, he's almost back. Almost there.
He's
almost
this close.
There he is. All right, let's try it again.
Bring him back up to the screen. Now, John, hopefully your connection's a little better at this point. The thing I was going to
I'm
say
hearing
was,
you.
that with Doctor Who, two things. One, you don't have to know all that backstory. It doesn't matter. I started with the fourth Doctor.
Right.
I started with the fourth Doctor, right? And that's season 12 of the show, of the television show, not even including the radio stuff. That's where I started. That's where I became a fan. And also, that's pretty much all you need. You just need the fourth Doctor, and all y'all are haters because the fourth Doctor is the best, and I don't care.
There's nothing wrong with Tom Baker. Tom Baker was a kick butt.
You
Yeah,
just watch,
Tom
And-
watch season 12 through season 18 and then David Tennant if you want to, and you've got Doctor Who. Forget everything else at all.
Hey, Eccleston's awesome.
Yeah, he was awesome in The Fast and the Furious.
No, he was good as a doctor.
I like the
There I
concept.
got
of
to
the episodes.
disagree
I don't
with
like
you,
him.
Skunk.
I don't like
I-
him as a doctor. I like his episodes. I do not like him as a doctor. I think he's an
I
awful
like
person.
all of them equally. I started with Tom Baker, but no. I started with the books before I ever got to see a show. And the first show I ever saw was Tom Baker, and then I dipped back due to a friend of mine who runs the Atlanta Radio Theater Company showing us episodes.
John's
And he
gone
got
again.
popped off again. All right.
But
Do you guys remember? At LibertyCon when somebody dressed as literally every doctor and like every hour he would change costume or regenerate and come back, and it did it in order?
That was probably Roger Riddle.
It
yeah, I
was
was
Roger.
about to say,
It was
Oh,
Roger.
yeah.
And every time Roger came back out in a new costume, I'd call my sister and describe the outfit. And so the moment I remember specifically, there were two. Was Peter Davison was the first one, right? Where I call her up and I'm like, okay, he's dressed like a golfer, but he has a piece of celery on his lapel. And my sister's like, oh yeah, it's Fifth Doctor, it's Peter Davison. And she starts giving me all this info, and I'm like, okay, I just needed to know who it was. She's such a big Doctor Who fan.
All right.
I think I pissed off Roger at one convention. He walked in as Tom Baker, and I was walking by him to go outside to meet with a friend of mine, and I just nodded and said, "Afternoon, Doctor," and kept walking. And it's like, dude, there you go, John.
I don't want to be a hater on Roger. I love Roger to death, but it's not hard to piss him
Oh
off.
yeah, no. Roger is fantastic as Roger and whatever character he wants to portray. He does a good job. He's very conscientious about getting the costumes right and everything else for doing the cosplay. And he knows everything about pirates.
I lost John again. When we were at Halicon one year, we did the lip sync battles. He did Werewolves of London while dressed as werewolf, and it was awesome.
Yeah. Of course, Chris Walker commented on the Doctor Who that the Van Gogh episode is so moving. Yes.
Yes.
That's
Yes. It
My favorite
it is
is
outstanding it in a bunch
Heather,
that
is
are
it a Tennant
similar.
episode?
my favorite episode is the face of Bo.
Is it a David Tennant episode?
What?
No, that's the sidewalk one. Is it the sidewalk one?
No, it's the cats one.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
I think
Yeah, that is
Yes.
a
yeah,
Tennant
it's the
episode.
cats one with the cat sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I don't-
is a Tennant episode. Yes.
There's the one with the where she gets turned into a piece of sidewalk or whatever. It's a woman who plays Moaning Myrtle in.
No. That's Love and Monsters.
No, I
She's
know
not
that's a
talking about
different.
that.
That's a different episode. I know, Dan. It's a different episode. That's what I thought Heather was talking about.
Oh.
I
And
would
the
say-
whole reason is because it's not really foreshadowing. It's more like, yeah, it's foreshadowing.
as much as I love Tom Baker, David Tennant's my second favorite Doctor, and he has an episode. I don't remember which episode it is, but it's the one that ends with David Tennant as the Doctor crying about River. right, River and him. I don't remember exactly what was happening in the scene, but he's crying because River's basically about to sacrifice herself or something. But the whole thing is that River's like, wibbly wobbly timey stuff, dude. I'm gonna be back.
Okay.
Right. This isn't the last time you will see me. And then she disappears, and he's just tears. And that scene is amazing, and it's powerful, and it's wonderful, and it's everything David Tennant should be. And if I could cast David Tennant in a movie, I would.
Yeah. I just got a
Silence
message
in the Library or the sequel. If let me get it, I can't get those straight in my head. I'd have to look it up.
It might be Library because that was the first appearance of River, if I remember correctly. Joe has something to say about that.
Yes, it was. It was a two-parter.
I got a message from John. He said he just can't maintain a connection. He keeps getting bumped off and apologizes. He says he's going to continue to comment on the live stream.
Hey, fun time. Right. Well, I'm so, you know what? Because if he's watching the stream, I want to say this, John. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, absolutely.
Agreed. Yes, absolutely.
We actually have a debate going.
Yeah.
Well, anytime you bring up Doctor Who.
Yeah. And
aside from that, everything that John has gone through tonight, everything he has spoken about has been really, really interesting. And I wish he'd had a better connection so that we could have gone into more depth on every single thing he spoke about.
Yeah.
Would have been so much more fun.
There he is. He's in on our Facebook streams. Thank you, John, for tuning back in. And Brian K. Morris says the Bill Nye speech about Van Gogh chokes him up every time.
I want to say this. That I wanted to say it before he left, but I didn't get an opportunity to. I want to say it now, John. The one time that I met John, of course, was during HaloCon, and he's such a good sport that he's got such a good sense of humor that I was messing with him in the middle of his bit that he was doing during opening ceremonies, and he went right along with it. He knew exactly what to do to make it funny. We kept it going. It was great. He's such a good sport. John is great. He's a testament to everything, and I love him. He's awesome. I want to see John come back to HaloCon. If he's not, John, if you're not performing, I don't care. You don't have to perform, man. Just come hang out with us.
You come on back to HaloCon, you eat food with us.
Yeah, definitely eat food because we throw down on the food. He says next time he'll be able to connect with an Ethernet cable. Yeah, that is what is recommended, definitely. And you were talking about you would cast Tenet for a role. Make sure he's a bad guy.
Oh, I would. You know what? I think this is the one thing. Everybody said it on the internet at one point. And I said that is the role that he needs to play. Because I would love to see it. I would love to see David Tennant in a Christopher Nolan Batman film as the Riddler. Just him, just stone face, just is staring right at Batman, just being like, "I know who you are, Bruce Wayne. I know exactly who you are. You're supposed to be the world's greatest detective. Let me tell you something. I'm smarter than you are because you're American and I'm not." I think that would be great. Just him just being Edward Nygma would be awesome.
Yeah. Look up Des, D-E-S, for David Tennant. I'm going to tell you that. He plays an evil guy, and
he's playing a British serial killer.
Yeah, and
it's the 1983 arrest.
He would be good as Jack the Ripper.
Nielsen. Oh my God, he looks like a serial killer.
He would be perfect for that role.
Just looking at the poster for this series. Just looking at the poster for this miniseries, he looks like, and I know he's supposed to be Dennis Nielsen, but he looks like Jeffrey
Dahmer. Yeah. Oh, I mean, John Pyka agrees. Tenet as the Riddler would be a great choice.
That would be amazing. I just think he would just do such a good job.
And he was a great villain on Jessica Jones.
I never watched
a disturbing villain on Jessica Jones. Yes, indeed.
I was a Marvel guy when I was a kid. I don't really care anymore. But speaking of films, the thing I wanted to talk about, I wanted John to be here for this, but at least he'll be able to see and comment on it. I wanted to talk about something.
Yeah.
This is really super cool. You guys ready for the super cool stuff?
Yeah.
All right. Have any of y'all ever heard of this film?
No.
Right.
Yes.
That film is called It's Hardcore Henry. The original film title was Hardcore. They added Henry in later, but because the main character's name's Henry, and what it is it's basically about a guy who's a cyborg, right? Now, here's what's really cool about the movie: the entire film is shot in the first person.
So it's all from his point of view.
Yeah.
This sounds like a video game from the
Yeah.
90s.
Very similar. Check this out. This is
Didn't they
parts
do this
of the
with
trailer. This is parts of the trailer right here. This is
the Doom movie was not quite as good.
All right. Be careful.
Not the whole film. I turned the sound off. Not the whole film in Doom is shot in the first person. Only part of Doom is shot in the first person. But this movie, as you can see here with the shots here, this is shot in the first person. The character, he lands on the truck, and this is the whole movie. It's all in the first person perspective, right? And the way they did that's super cool. Check this out.
Strap him with a GoPro.
He's got 2 GoPros on his face, right? You can see that. He's got 2 GoPros on his face, one for his left eye, one for his right eye. But the prototype for this was for a music video for a song called the song's called Bad Motherfucker. Look at that. All he's wearing is a airsoft protection mask they strapped a GoPro to.
Oh, okay.
Right? And that's pretty cool, right? Yeah, that's one of the really super awesome things, right?
Yeah, John said it was the most original
movies ever made. It was a huge flop. It really was. You got to be honest, it was. But
so was Virtuosity at its time.
Yeah. What skunk grabbing?
Oh.
Yeah, I saw you playing with that earlier today. So are you making your own first shooter?
I put my sunglasses. Oh shit. Now, I have 2 problems.
All right.
If you notice, it's pointing down. This doesn't want to go all the way back. So I have to fix that. I need an adapter or something to be able to make it go all the rest of the way up. It's off center, which I don't like. I'm gonna have to fix that too. And this is an old. I wanted to buy a brand new hockey mask to do this. I wanted to buy a brand new one, right? Problem is, I went to Party City today, and Party City's changed their policy on hockey masks. They used to sell them throughout the year, right? They used to sell hockey masks throughout the year. They don't do that anymore, right? They don't sell hockey masks throughout the year anymore. They used to sell them in all sorts of different colors. So this one's black, but they used to sell them in all the different colors that they would have for sporting events and stuff like that. You used to be able to get them in pink and red and blue and white and everything else. They don't have that anymore, right? And the reason being, they told me, is that they're only selling at Party City. They're only selling hockey masks during Halloween now. Okay, well, as you can see, the elastic on this mask, I've had this mask for 10 years.
Yeah.
The elastic on this mask is done. I mean, it's toast. So this thing ain't even holding to my face anymore. So, updates to the mask in the near future. I'm going to replace the elastic. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I might break out the Dremel and make a new band. Or I might just replace the elastic straight up. Or I'll figure something out.
Skunk, I'll tell you right now how to do it. Cut a belt in half. Cut a belt in half and rivet the belt. Use the
That's
You-
one of
was
the
gonna
things I was
say,
thinking about doing.
you can get elastic for $1 at any craft store.
Yeah. And
It is
Yeah,
dirt cheap.
Yeah, but leather don't stretch out.
now and on top of that, the other thing that I was thinking about doing, the other thing I was going to do is I do want to get some pieces. There's a kit you can buy. It's like $20 at Best Buy. That's just all different mannerisms of being able to reconnect and redistribute the way that your GoPro fits on your face. And all I really needed to do is just go back a little further. So I'm going to mess with that. This isn't a GoPro, by the way. It's a little smaller. This is and it's got a screen. The screen on the front, this is really cool. This screen is actually, it's not an LCD screen. On a GoPro, it'd be an LCD. It just tells you like how long you've been filming. It's like, this is a second screen. This is a monitor for the camera, right? And what that's for, this is made by DJI. This is the DJI Osmo Action. So this has stability built into it. So it's got an internal gimbal for the camera. Yeah, this is super cool. So it cost me $200. It was on sale at Best Buy, and I got my Christmas bonus today. So I said, fuck it, I'm going to spend some money. And so that's my Christmas present to myself. GoPro does sell a head mount. Carl here saying this. GoPro sell a head mount, but it attaches up here. And they talk about it in that article I was looking at about the POV shots. If you want to have a true POV shot, this is really weird, but scientific. If you want to have a true POV shot, you go from the mouth. You don't go from the forehead or the eyes or even the nose. You go from the mouth specifically. And you might be thinking, that's weird, right? But scientifically, it turns out you point your face with your mouth. Whatever you're looking at, your mouth is pointing at. How cool is that? Somebody figured that out, that if you actually mount the camera here, you'll get better POV shots than if you mount it over your eyes.
And John just had the perfect conversation for it. Said that would be great for POV porn.
Yeah, I saw that. You put that up earlier, Joe, and I didn't want to comment on it at that point.
Yeah.
I did want to point out that is more of a Brian K. Morris thing than it is a stupid
clock.
That really
save that sort of thing. Title pending.
You need heated rather than
skunk. You've never been in the green room, which you need to come into the green room. Of course, you're doing.
What is that?
That is Friday nights. It starts at Scrub House.
What time does it start?
Carl, what time does green room start? So
because the Scrub House Video Club, the actual streams that we do, where we're watching the actual movie, starts at 10 p.m. So if it's before 10 p.m., I can join in.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
10 p.m.
It's sometime between 7 and 8 Central.
See, 7 and 8 Central is what, 8 and 9 Eastern?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
8, 9
Yes.
Okay, I could do that. Do that. Invite me, Carl, brother. Invite me this Friday. I will be there, and I will talk about whatever.
Are you part of his group, Uncle Carl's Secret Humor Group?
I'm not part of anything. I'm not part of anybody's group. I'm an individual.
Okay, so we'll figure out a way to do that. Well, because what he does is he posts a link that you go into a room, and it is a completely, like, only 10 people can go into this room. It's not published like this is.
Joe can invite me to the room. Apparently, Joe can invite me to the group.
I'm working on it right now.
Now, I will. Okay, so real quick, this is what I'm going to say. Carl, you invite me, I'll be there. As long as it's not interfere with Scrub House stuff. That being said, I have a biological function I need to take care of. I feel like Buzz Aldrin at the very bottom of the stairs in the lunar module because I gotta fucking pee.
All right.
These things they happen.
Yeah. Oh, but Carl, he has got the invite. It just It just went to him. So we took care of that. Of course, sort of changed the subject again. Heather sent me a picture today of the landing pad, and there is a hole where the nozzle of an engine impacted 3 feet of concrete.
That sounds about right.
3 feet missing now, or
No, it's 3 feet of concrete that got turned into gravel.
well, like I said, missing now.
Yeah. They're going to have to patch it before they do another landing.
Patches never work. They'd have to.
I don't think that's going to be an issue.
No.
I'm going to go back to the David Tennant thing.
I
think you should play the Mad Hatter.
Blake, before.
Actually, he'd be quite
Heather,
good at that.
Heather, what was you saying?
I was talking about space stuff.
Or were you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were talking about a big hole in 3 feet of concrete from a rocket going boom on top of it.
I don't know why I don't believe you, because when I came back, you said, I don't think he has to worry about that.
I was saying they don't have to, because Joe said that they're going to have to patch it before they launch 9 or 10, whichever one they're going to use next. And I don't think it's going to be an issue because it's going to land. So if one of the legs is a little floppy, the whole thing's not going to tip.
See, I thought you were talking about that.
Yeah, and I disagreed with her, but I got.
I mean, last thing you need to do is put one of those legs in the hole.
See, I thought you were talking about this. This little comment here from Carl. Let's just warn him about not being offended.
Skunk will not be offended. I have heard some of the stuff that comes out of Skunk's mouth at a convention when he's really drunk. He won't be offended.
Anybody want to hear a true story that might get Joe in trouble?
No.
Yes. Everyone does.
It's like all of a sudden everybody's eyes light up.
Coming out of Skunk's mouth when he's sober.
He's not sober.
I'm not sober. I've been drinking. No, this is
been drinking and drunk are 2 different things.
I will clean up my language on this story, Joe. Will that make you happy?
Yes, please.
So you know what he's talking about.
No, Joe has no idea what I'm talking about. I wanted to get Joe's clarification on whether or not I was allowed to say certain words, because there is some slurs in this story that I will change the words appropriately. So we were at wrestling. We were at wrestling training. And there is this professional wrestler named AJ Styles. If anybody knows who he is, he's from Georgia. He's from backwoods Georgia, right? And there was another wrestler, Kevin Steen, who was doing a promo. And while he was cutting the promo, AJ walks in the background and he turns around and he goes, "Right, AJ?" And AJ turns around and goes, "Shut up," and then says a word that starts with F that might be used to negatively describe a gay person.
I was going to say, you didn't even have to say that. I knew exactly where you were going with an F word.
Yeah.
And now, anybody who knows me knows I'm as queer as a $3 bill, right? But we kept saying it at wrestling training because we saw the video and we were laughing our asses off. We thought it was the funniest damn thing ever because it's just like, "Shut up!" and this stupid accent and everything. And it was, we were cracking up, right? Jaden pulls me to the side at one point and goes, "Hey, I know you're LGBT. Like, are you okay with this or are you offended?" I'm like, "Duh, this is hilarious. I know you guys aren't saying it because y'all are anti-gay or anything. You're saying it because we're making fun of AJ Styles. It's great." Right? Problem is, we have a buddy in our group. And I love this kid to death, but he's a couple kids short of a 6-pack, and he thought it was just okay to say that word. So we go to dinner, and we went to one night. This is after a show. We went to dinner with a bunch of LGBT wrestlers. He just started saying the word. And Ashton Starr, God, I love him to death. Ashton Starr went full on diva. As soon as he said the word, he's like throwing down like silverware and just being all like, "Excuse me, boys, I gotta go to the restroom." Just so mad and we're like telling him, it's like, wait, you can't say that. Like, you have a bunch of gay and bisexual wrestlers who can't say that word. It's like, I said it in front of Skunk, and it was like, Skunk doesn't get offended by anything. Don't worry about him.
It's really hard to offend Skunk. Really hard.
I get what you're saying. That's the thing, is I understand why you're saying it the way that you're saying it. It's not the same. Yeah, John,
that's what I was thinking after he said it. The British word for cigarette.
Me and Joe Blair do that all the time. We're just all like, "You're a cigarette," because we got that from Clerks. But no, like that was the thing. Was I get offended by I get offended by actual hate. That's the only thing I get offended by. I like jokes. That's fine. If your joke's not meant to harm, there are jokes, and they are jokes. I get like why they were considered funny, but they're harmful, and that's not what I mean. I think one of the best pieces of humor that I've seen in a very long time that sits right on the teeter-totter of that, right? Where you don't quite know which direction it's going to go, was the Chappelle Show with the blind Klansman. Because that was right there on the edge. That was like, I could go either way.
I thought you were going somewhere else with the family with the very unique name.
No, because that was, oh, dude, the best part about that episode, the best part about that skit, not the episode, but the skit. The best part about that skit was Dave Chappelle as, what was the milkman's name? Was Clarence, I think. Mm-hmm. His name was Clarence. And he thinks it's the funniest thing ever. Like, he's in on the joke. And
he's like, your name's what?
Great. Well, no, he doesn't even do that. He just says the name as much as he possibly can. He even pops back in to say it again.
I know, you're some crazy, that word. Yeah.
Yeah. And if this wasn't a polite group of people, if this wasn't a polite group of people that don't want to offend anybody, and plus we're live, if I was just talking about that in context, I would have no problem saying it, right? Because again, in context, mm-hmm. That's a very thin tightrope to walk across. You have to be very careful with that sort of thing. But the other word we were talking about, the one that starts with F and ends with G, I mean, as somebody who's in the LGBT community, as a queer person, bisexual, I don't care about that word. I've been using that word for years. Whatever. It's like it was like the episode of The Simpsons where Homer was talking to John Waters, and he said the thing about queer, which was awesome. He's like, you can't use that word. That's the word we've used to make fun of you.
I remember that episode. Holy shit.
It's such a good episode. John Waters is so amazing in that episode.
He's a very cool guy, evidently, from the people that I know who have met him. I have not.
Chris, oh my gosh, Chris, I'm going to say right now that I love Kids in the Hall. I am going to completely disagree with you on that. I am going to completely disagree with you. They did a couple of funny gay skits. He goes, I forget what his name. It's not Dave. It's Dave. No, it's not Dave. I forget what the actor who does that role. He is a gay man in real life. He takes it too far. He really pushes the envelope. But just because I don't like it doesn't mean that I don't appreciate what he did, because he was putting it right in everybody's face, pun intended. He was just right in there, just giving it to everybody. And it really, it helped me be okay with my sexuality. And I appreciate that. I just think he takes it too far. Because if you've ever seen Kids in the Hall stuff, like, it's pretty raunchy. And I'm just like,
Yeah, I have a problem with taking it too far every once in a while. And
you know
this is coming from a guy who thinks that Samuel L. Jackson is my normal accent. So
Dan, I want to say something real quick about that though. About taking it too far, and the difference between taking it too far and taking it just far enough, right? And my answer is Graham Chapman. Graham Chapman is, from Monty Python, he was a notorious homosexual. Everybody knew he was gay, right?
Yeah,
and he
didn't matter. Yeah,
he did gay stuff on Monty Python specifically, and I felt like that was the proper level for what was appropriate. To being gay is totally okay. And also kind of making fun of the gay community in general. I think the best thing ever
where I have problems with my own self doing that.
I think the best thing ever, is one of my favorite Monty Python skits, and I love it to death, was Squad! Camp it up!
See, I think that's funny, but I wouldn't be able to pull that off. Not with the crowd I run with, present company excluded.
I couldn't do it. I'd get about 3/4 of the way through that march, and I would just die right around the part. Your military fairy. 1, 2, 3.
Fussy. Hey. Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh God, I crossed the streams.
The Fossier thing, the birdcage. That was another really good piece of gay culture. That, it was because it was both raising awareness and also
I've been exposed to Robin Williams for a long time, and sometimes he went there in places where I did not feel comfortable. Same with George Carlin, but didn't keep me from appreciating the effect of the joke.
That film I felt like that film didn't go too far at all. I thought it was great. And my absolute favorite part about that movie, you got of course the Republican senator in the house with the 2 gay men, one of whom's a drag queen that owned the drag club downstairs, right? And they're sitting there, and he finally figures out that he's talking to 2 gay men, one of whom is Jewish, and he's Catholic, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Right? And so one of whom is Jewish, he's Catholic, and he's on the way out the door, just turns around and goes, I hope this doesn't affect your decision on the vote. One of the best damn lines. I hope this doesn't affect your vote. Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
I guess what time it is.
Oh, it's that time.
Is it that time?
It's past that time.
Technically, it's past that time. Heather's
Wait a
right.
minute. You tell me it's that time?
Yeah, it's that time.
You coming?
I didn't mean to cut off Heather, but she started talking after I clicked the button.
I'm not offended.
Yeah.
It wasn't important.
See, nobody here is offended. I don't know why you think everybody's going to be offended.
I'm gonna reach in there and grab a puppy.
Carl.
No,
I want
That's because we're
puppy.
con folk. Okay,
puppy.
I've got to go and take a bio break and grab another beer.
We took a bio break.
Joe got a bio break.
I was waiting on that. You had that one
By
sitting
the
on your
time
shoulder
I
like
get
a
back,
kitten.
there'll be a cat on Joe's shoulder. who has been eating chili
God.
for 6
Oh, dear
days.
God. That stinks.
Taste it.
Yum.
Sorry.
Well, he got Hey, you know, like good porno, he got the best of both worlds. That was a green room joke. I like what Pyka said. Birdcage is one of Williams' finest performances.
Yeah.
And I'm going to agree. It's not his finest.
It's a good one, though.
It is definitely one of his finest. I love. Oh, we were talking about this earlier with David Tennant. I love when comic actors turn to serious roles, because every single comedian I've ever met has had the same issue. Right? They've all had tragic lives. That's why they're so good at comedy, because they know what it's like to not be able to laugh.
True.
That's my theory, anyway. And if you look at guys who went way too soon, a lot of times it is suicide, and because they're expending so much energy trying to make everybody else happy, they don't have any energy for themselves. Robin was one of those guys. But if you take one of those actors, one of those comedians, and you put them in a serious role, the darkness comes out, and it is amazing. Robin Williams, he had an episode of SVU. He had that movie 1 Hour Photo. He had Insomnia. I mean, let Robin Williams play. When he played a sociopath, it went great.
Yeah.
And Dead Poet Society had some funny moments, though. You know, I mean, I'm talking just dark. Jeff Bridges in oh God, what was that movie where he played the bad guy? I can't even remember the title of it now. He played a bad guy, and it was he was a total bastard in that too. It was great. And then you look at the guys that are writing and directing. Jordan Peele's horror films, especially Us. I love Us. Oh, it's such a good movie. And then you had Chris Rock just did a Saw movie that hasn't come out yet, but I'm very excited. I want to see it. I believe in him.
And we have got to go, guys.
Well, we got 20 seconds.
Yeah, but we got to go ahead and play that long outro.
10 seconds.
Yeah. All right.
Around and do it.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. We will be going to my page for the Stupid After Show. So everybody, if you would, just join us over there. Skunk always has some good video to start the show off for us, and actually to end it if you hang around that long. But as we go, we want to thank everybody for being here and say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
I have slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.